Ladies and gentlemen, Pimpmunk. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Morning Wood. This is the Morning Wood where you get what, Missy?
Wood is so good.
Yes, indeed. It is a Tuesday. It is October the 20th of the year. What the fuck? And we are joined today by the blunder from down under, the Australian Thunder. I'm talking about Red Eye.
Hello, I'm to blame for everything apparently. Just throw me under the bus. I can be society's whipping boy for the evening. Oh yeah.
And of course, smart and sexy, scientist Mel. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing? You doing all right?
I'm pretty good. I have to hang out with Shabisky today, so that kind of sucks. But other than that,
I have something new for Shabisky.
What's that?
What?
So anytime you're not quiet, the hungry beaver is going to come after you.
Oh no.
Is that a good thing?
I don't know. It's the hungry beaver.
Hungry beaver sounds good. I could feed the beaver.
I bought a couple of puppets on Amazon, and I was just because there's a couple shows that I'm on, and there's different people. Anytime they just talk too much, so I thought I'd pull the puppet out and just start talking for them. So I thought for Shabisky, what better thing could there be than a hungry beaver?
He's never met a beaver yet. So.
This is my first beaver.
It's his first beaver.
Can't wait to feed this beaver. Open up, beaver. You ready?
Well, my hand's up this beaver right now. So what you got to say?
See, because beavers love wood, and this is the morning wood. So there you go.
Looks like it might hurt my wood with that big.
Hey, no sexual innuendos there, buddy.
What? No, I wasn't saying anything sexual. I was trying to feed him.
And you know,
family show.
Hannibal and Monty, they sit there and they say hand animal is a slur for puppets, so we can't say hand animal.
Oh yeah,
It's a hand animal.
Wow.
Definitely fist them, that's for sure.
Oh damn.
Which I do to Shabisky quite often, actually, too. So
Shabisky's beaver gonna come out every once in a while.
His butt.
Who wants to see my beaver? Raise your hand.
I mean,
everybody in class raised their hand, guys.
And it's we're also joined by Shabisky and Missy, and of course, producer man himself, Booleanenator, and we're here for your entertainment pleasure and your sexual pleasure, if you want us to be. Shabisky gives good mouth to penis resuscitation jobs.
Yeah, except for me, because of the whole Geneva Convention thing about having sex with you, remember? We talked about this earlier.
Yeah, it's terrible, I'm sure.
There's laws against it. International laws.
Like fucking a pissed off stick or something.
I have so many questions. I have so many questions. So what would constitute a violation of international law for like the Geneva Convention?
Just seeing naked, I think.
It's all warded up. His penis has got moles on it, and there's like hairs of different colors. It's really weird.
I was figuring that, the fact that he probably chains people up in his basement or something. I thought maybe that's where I was going, like the whole that realm.
Yeah. That reminds me of me and my ex-wife. I came home one day. She's like, you can tie me up and do whatever you want to. So I tied her up and I went and watched a movie.
Wow. What kind of movie do you watch while your wife's tied up?
Porn.
Bondage porn.
Something I can enjoy.
Was it porn with your wife? It was like people who tie up their wives and just walk
No.
away?
Oh, no, it was something far, far away from having a wife.
Oh, okay.
I learned there was one good thing about my whole marriage, and that was the divorce.
Wow.
The exit.
Yeah, the leaving the marriage was the best part of it.
So I've actually been married before, and I've had a divorce myself.
Mm-hmm.
I was laughing in the courtroom.
Oh God.
Did you actually go to the court?
No, we were both so happy. We just we signed it. No fault divorce. Just
See, that's what it was too. It was a no fault divorce, but he still had to go in front of the judge and say it was irreconcilable differences and all that. And he looked so awkward when he was sitting there. He just looked so just like, and I'm just like, look at him. I'm just like laughing. And my mom's with me and she's like, you can't laugh at this. I'm like, yes, I can. Look at him up there. I'm like, this is the best day ever.
it was. I left the state, so I was just mailed the papers and I signed them and mailed them back.
Yeah.
I was married and lived in Alabama, and I came back to Mississippi after I left the motherfucker. So yeah, and it was all me too. She didn't want to end it. I did.
Was it just incompatibility
Yeah,
or?
Well, I mean, look. The thing is, I don't give her all the blame. Of course, I shouldn't have ever married her because I didn't love her. But I married her because I thought that was something I needed to do. I don't know what I was thinking, and then we were just not meant for each other. I
same thing here. We were incompatible. I don't think I really loved him so much. I just married him because I thought that's what you're supposed to do.
Exactly. I think a lot of people do that, actually.
I think so. But that, it's good to get a good practice marriage out of the way.
Especially in the South, because the South is you're raised to be family oriented and all this shit. And, and it's just.
I think people just get comfortable, and a lot of people are afraid of change and being alone.
Just touched on the reason that the divorce rate in America is around 50%.
It comes down to, being comfortable.
Just have a test run, eh? No worries.
Yeah.
I do. I call, people are like, oh, you've been divorced. It's terrible. It's like my mom, when my parents split, she was really heavy. Well, we were brought up Nazarene, and in the Nazarene faith in the South, you don't divorce. In fact, there have been women who have killed their husbands who were Nazarene because their husbands were abusive. And if they divorced them, they would be like, pariahs in their church. But if they killed them, somehow that made it better in their head, until death do you part. So it kind of, you just don't get divorced. And so it's when my mom split with my dad, my grandparents were like, what did you do? What did you do to him to make him want to leave you? And they did the same thing to me. And I was sitting at a freaking Piccadilly, which is like a little cafeteria style restaurant. And I'm sitting there and my grandma was like, what did you do to him to make him want to leave you? I said, I'm sorry, but he wants to fuck people on the internet instead of me. And I yelled that at the top of my lungs. And then she quit asking me after that. I'm like, I was so sick of that crap. I'm like, we're not doing that here. We don't do that here.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, the South is still way behind on certain things like that.
Yes, it is.
God, this reminds me of a Paul Hogan. Now, the guy that played Crocodile Dundee, he used to have a TV show in Australia many moons ago, and he did a skit. And it was kind of a parody on weddings, but it was a divorce ceremony. And they basically, it's like the church ceremony. They all rock up in their nice gear, and right at the end, instead of saying that you may now kiss the bride, in this skit, and I kid you not, the dude says you may now punch the bride. Everyone starts punching on, and it's just like, if you tried to release this skit in 2020, I'm pretty sure the earth would implode with the cancel culture just collapsing in upon itself and becoming a singularity. This is Paul fucking Hogan of all people. It's like, he has gone to great lengths to keep this show very inclusive.
Damn, y'all putting
just
a
say
damper on my engagement.
politically incorrect.
Aw.
Don't do it. Don't get married.
It's just a test. It's all right.
Yeah, it's a test run. You'll be all right.
It reminds me of that day me and Landon was in San Francisco. We was walking by the group of black guys, and they were having a bachelor party. They were celebrating and started talking to this young black cat. He's like, "You got any advice for me?" I was like, "Yeah, don't do it."
Run away. Run away.
Oh,
It's not the one. It's just that you're going to fuck up.
yeah,
And you better make sure that you really want to fuck up with this person.
that's true. That's a lot of truth there.
You want a life partner? Buy a cockatoo. They live for fucking
Yeah.
decades.
Get a goddamn turtle.
They're saying the audio is a
Unless
bit
your dog
messed
gets a hold
up,
of them and
guys.
chews them up.
I'm working on that. I have something to add to this discussion about divorce and relationships. Get an ironclad prenup, people. You've worked hard for what you have now, and you deserve it if it goes south. If anybody gets offended because you want a prenup with them, then they're not the right person for you in the first place. Just saying.
Right. So they wouldn't be after you for the things that you have. Yeah, they want to be with you for you, not for the
Well, I
things
didn't
that you
have
have.
anything. I didn't have anything when we got married.
So yeah, if you were both going into it and you each of you have like nothing really, then there's
Yeah.
no. But if you're going into it and you have established yourself and you like you own that house and you own that car and you have your own bank account, keep that as yours. Like
I'll be
Don't
honest,
join
I didn't have
anything.
shit. She did. My wife had a lot of shit. She was, had a nice career, not home or anything. I didn't want anything. I would have never. I'm a different cat. I would have never.
well, that's the thing, a lot of people aren't like that.
I didn't have shit.
Now.
She married the po' boy.
That's kind of crazy that a lot of men are getting alimony now because women are earning more money and a lot of women are actually going into relationships as the primary breadwinner.
Yeah.
And when they split up, and there's actually a really kind of funny article because this woman, she's like, now that there's equality there, she's not really impressed with it. Because she's on the wrong end of it now. And she's like, she pays it because she's got kids and stuff. She said, but I shouldn't have to pay it. It's like, well,
What?
and there's also the stigma of men accepting it in society. So
Yeah.
it's kind of it's a really weird one. If the men are the primary caregivers to the kids, but the women are the primary breadwinners, and they split up, the men are entitled to, like Madonna's ex gets tens of millions of dollars. There's celebrity exes out there. These men, they never have to ever work ever again because they are getting $40 million a year.
Wow.
Britney Spears' ex gets $40,000 a month.
Yeah. I feel bad about what's going on with Brittany.
I do too.
Yeah, I hope she gets
I
help.
brought that up the other day, and I started looking more into it, man. Yeah, she's being mistreated pretty bad.
I would shave my head and hit things with baseball bats if technically, I didn't have control of my own estate and my parents were grifting me that hard, man,
Yeah.
for real. That's just unforgivable.
Yeah, they have total control of everything on that girl. And she's what, 30-something years old now?
Yeah.
I mean, but now here's the thing: is she capable?
Is she sane? I think she's sane. I mean, she has doctors saying she is, and if the doctors say she is, then leave Brittany alone.
Yeah, but Trump also had a doctor that said he didn't have corona. So.
Well, multiple doctors. I'm talking multiple credible doctors, not doctors getting paid under the table to say the words that a narcissist needs to hear. So,
It's crazy. If she is capable of taking care of herself, she needs to be able to do that. Because she's the one that earned the money.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
She's the one that got up there with her big boobies and so, oops, I did it again.
Yeah. I feel bad for her. I really do. At first, I was like, I didn't even like the way she's singing, and then I found out at the same time that her and Christina came out, Christina, they were pushing hard. The labels were pushing hard for her to like go full singing really loud and soprano and stuff like that. And they're like, Brittany, you need to be more alto because we already have a white blonde girl singing soprano. So can you like drop your voice a bit lower? And that can hurt your throat. I mean, that can actually hurt your vocal cords.
That's probably why she sounded that way. Because I never liked the way she. Yeah, I never liked that. I always thought like she's doing something funny to her voice, and you can hear it.
Yeah, and I hated that. And then I found that out, and I'm like, my God, what they've done to this poor girl her entire freaking life, man.
Yeah.
Well, they did the same thing to Jessica Simpson, but in like a different way because she came out the same time those two came out, and they told her, they were like, well, you're the fat one, so like she had to go and
she was
like
the fat one.
Right, but like they gave her like a complex. She developed an eating disorder. Like it fucked with her so much that her career never really took off after that.
But now, honestly, between those three, if you're going by I'm not talking about talent, but looks wise, she looked better than both them wrapped up in. I mean, Jessica Simpson was a beautiful, beautiful female. Now, Christina Aguilera's talent was way better than both of theirs, in my opinion.
She had that diva, Mariah Carey, like
prima donna kind of.
Yeah, that
strong.
That was her.
Yeah, I like
sexualized the fuck out of those teenage girls, though.
They really did.
It was crazy how they. I mean, because Britney was what 15, 16 when she came out. And they had her up there in a fucking with her tits up in there. I mean, she was a child.
Yeah.
And I mean, but that was what the early 2000s.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, the times have really changed since then. But they're still. That's like on TikTok, dude. I can't believe that. Like I watched something the other day where it was a grown woman and her little daughter now about 9 years old, and she was letting her daughter up her twerk with her. Twerk.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them. It's kind of gross.
And I'm like, what the fuck?
Billie Eilish is getting a lot of hate. They're saying she's got a wine mom's body. And I'm like, who cares? Why are you worried? Why we go back to the Simon and Garfunkel years where men look like that and they could make music. You know what I mean? Not knocking on Simon and Garfunkel.
Yeah, they're mad because she's not showing her body off. And it's like, it's not supposed to be about that. That's why she does it. That's why she dresses the way she does, because she doesn't want to be sexualized.
Exactly. What happened to just enjoying music for the sake of enjoying music? Why do we have to sit here and think, oh, well, I can't envision having sex with this person, therefore their music sucks. So,
And then isn't she, I'm pretty sure she's a lesbian too. Like, I'm pretty sure there are pictures out of her having a girlfriend and stuff.
In my book.
Well, it's just like, maybe she doesn't want to be sexualized in the way that you guys are making her. Like, let her be her. Because is she still a minor?
She was when she came out. I don't know if she still is.
It's so gross.
I know she's an office junkie, and I respect that. She's crazy about The Office, and I respect that.
My kid loves The Office. The younger one, not the older one.
But now she here's the deal. Now I know what people are gonna say. Well, Pam, you sexualizing, but now like Missy's a grown ass woman. There's a difference between sexualizing, which I'm not sexualizing. Missy knows it's a joke, by the way, when I do say things. But let's face the fact, I also have her here because look at that cleavage. Anyways.
I like to call mine the snack cabinet.
I do too.
So when my food falls in, I'll be like, oh, look, here's a chip from earlier.
Usually when I can't find something.
Tongue pocket, actually. What are you talking about?
No, mine is like a extra purse. Normally, if I can't find something, one of my kids goes, "Did you check your bra?" Because I normally just shove it in there.
I used to store my cell phone in there because, they don't give us pockets in our clothes. So, like when I would be teaching high school, I didn't have pockets. So I could put my phone like right in my. I used to do it
until all of my family started getting on me because they made them uncomfortable that my cleavage was out and my phone was, because it drew your eye to my cleavage even more.
Yeah.
But they were disguising it as, oh, you're gonna get I
you're
understand
not.
it could cause you're gonna get cancer there. Like, you shouldn't put it there. But I know it was because it was drawing your eye to my cleavage. Because it's like, all right, well, if you're gonna
Oh,
get
it's
cancer
cleavage
putting
drawing
it
your eye.
there, why aren't you gonna get cancer in your butt from putting it in your pocket? Like,
Yeah,
what's the
it's
difference?
here's
Like,
here's the thing, guys. It's called ionizing radiation. And your phone doesn't do that. It doesn't cause atoms to be ionized. It's not the same thing as UV radiation or something like that that has enough energy to bust up,
Yes.
different, molecules. Like, UV light can do that because it has enough energy to where it can jank up your DNA. Phones don't have that. They don't do
Shabisky
that.
was telling us that the other day. The same thing you
Yeah,
said.
I keep
exactly
saying this to
worked.
them. They won't listen to me, Mel.
They won't
but
listen to you.
I brought something up the other day that I think Bulls was like, oh, we should bring this up next time Mel comes on. I was watching 60 Minutes,
Mhm.
and these two scientists figured out how if they take the AIDS virus and the DNA sequence of that and they take out the part that makes it infectious and they put in the correct thing to fix the sickle cell disease and then inject that into patients that have sickle cell anemia, it has corrected the sickle cell.
Okay, yes, that's one thing that we call immunotherapy. And so since HIV targets killer T cells, and killer T cells go around and take out all of your sick cells, your cells that are dying and stuff like that, the ones that are infected with viruses. So what they do is they take some of your T cells and they remove them from your body. And then they take the HIV virus, they take out the disease causing DNA, and they put in like the genetic code that makes your T cells like superhuman. Okay. It makes them like really strong to where they can go and target a specific thing. Sometimes it's cancer. I hadn't heard about going through and attacking sickle cells, but it might be able to, that comes from your bone marrow. Your blood comes from your bone marrow. So I'd have to look a bit more in that. But what it does is it reprograms those T cells to go and attack the specific disease, whether it's cancer, maybe it's taking out those sickle cells. I'm not certain, but that's
they were showing
essentially-
slides of they had a couple of people that had that they had infected with it. They had taken their blood samples before, and you could see like the sickle shaped blood cells. And then they took another sample 9 months after the injection, and you can see healthy red circle blood cells. Like,
Okay. All right. Well, I'll have to go take a look at that because I want to know what the mechanism for that is. But yeah,
I
that's
was
the
just
thing.
like, this is incredible that it's taking AIDS to fix us.
Have a look.
AIDS
There was
is
a
what's
little
doing it.
girl. Let's see. I think it was about 5 or 6. It was probably about 6 or 7 years ago. GE funded a particular study or treatment where they started that immunotherapy, where they were taking a little girl who had terminal cancer and other terminal cancer patients. They removed T cells from her, reprogrammed them with that HIV virus, injected them back into her. Now, this was a girl that had chemotherapy, didn't work. None of that worked. Nothing. She was on her deathbed. This was her last option. It went through and her immune system attacked her cancer. And within about a week, she was okay. But it was kind of a shaky thing at first because when she had a high fever, they were worried about certain things because it was eliciting this strong immune response, but it took out her cancer. I cry every time I watch that video, guys. I can't watch it right now because I'll just be crying like a baby. It's amazing. And she's still fine. And so that's
why I think it's just incredible that it's that the virus that had killed so many people and taken out so many lives is the thing that's saving people.
It's weird, isn't it? Yay, science!
Science!
The guy that was
Science, guys!
cured from HIV, he recently passed away from cancer, but he was 10 years, I believe, HIV was it 10 years? It was several years. There was the guy that got the blood transfusion or bone marrow transplant.
Marrow.
Yeah, bone marrow.
Mm-hmm.
And because apparently there's a very tiny percentage of the population that can't get infected with HIV. It's a natural immunity.
Yeah.
And they stumbled across this accidentally. And the other thing that I've just learnt recently is about copper. And I had no idea that copper is basically, it disinfects itself.
Mm-hmm.
And it things that COVID can survive on, stainless steel, I think, is 2 days, cardboard's a day, plastics 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't last very long on copper. And it's an interesting thing, and they don't quite understand. I'm reading the article from Dr. Carl here because I obviously don't have a clue, but it's basically it's something to do with atoms, and it's like a nano shotgun blast, and it can mess with viruses and either rupture the
probably.
membrane.
That you'd be telling everybody to swallow pennies.
Oh
we
my
go.
God. Well,
So-
silver's similar. Silver is a natural antibacterial for similar reasons.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you get an operation, you go to the hospital, sometimes they'll cauterize your incision a little bit, and they'll use silver as an antibacterial. Now, the thing that's interesting about like copper, it's a transition metal, which means it can pass electrons pretty well. And the nature of its ability to do that makes it very, very difficult for viruses or anything else to survive on its surface.
Yeah,
There you go. Shabisky, start wearing copper condoms.
I'll just read
Gonna
this
make
bit of the article.
everything Copper.
It says here, it seems atoms can physically drift from the copper surface into the cell membrane of a bacterium or into the outer coating of the virus particle. The copper atoms then set off various chemical reactions, some of which manufacture hydrogen peroxide. Then the hydrogen peroxide blasts holes through the cell membrane of the bacterium or disrupts the outer coating of the virus, destroying the germ's ability to infect us. And they also said back in the 1800s there was an outbreak of a cholera epidemic, France 1832, and it seemed that the copper workers were relatively immune to the disease. So because of the high amount of copper they're probably exposed to and had in their system, I would assume. But yeah, I had no idea about it. So door handles, there's a 100-year-old hand railing in, I think it's Central Station in New York. And yeah, it basically disinfects itself. And it's been there for 100 years. And they don't look
That's
as cool as stainless steel, but the go is door handles, anything that we touch regularly should be coated or have at least plated in copper or made from copper if possible. And it disinfects itself, which is really cool.
That is cool. Copper can form metal complexes, particularly with organic material. It's often used when you look at certain types of organic synthesis, when you're trying to make certain drugs and you want it to interact. It can, I can see that. Oh, by the way, do you know Dr. Carl is going to be on Nervardia's channel, I think Friday for you, Red Eye.
Okay, yeah. If people don't know Dr. Carl, he's this Aussie guy that's been on the radio, and he's kind of like
He's a murderer.
Neil deGrasse Tyson, or he's just a really good science communicator, and he's quite a likable character if you like
He's
shows.
a murderer.
Hey, come on now. That's a generalisation of the convicts that live in our what? Convicts? Who said convicts? We're fake.
Our country's good. Isn't that a play based on the colonization of Australia? Our country's good.
Our country's full of poisonous. Sorry, Jesus, I just did it. Now, John Morgan's. I'm never going to fucking hear the end of that from John Morgan. There you go, John. It's a freebie for you, you son of a bitch.
Oh my gosh.
Venomous. Actually, now you've reminded me. There's a plant. They've just discovered this plant. It's called the Gimpy, and it's got. It's got the same stuff that a cone snail produces. It's venom, but it's a fucking plant.
Wow.
So when it stings
about
you,
this plant
it
before.
injects you, and it's got. When they look at it under the microscope and they look at the cone snail's venom, they just go,
Oh.
pretty well the same. It's a fucking plant. So we've got venomous plants.
Yeah. You have,
sucks.
I think you have venomous
Everything.
venomous primates, little small venomous primates. Or do you guys have those, or are those in the rain?
They're dark's venomous over in Australia. Everything's
We've got there's a fucking mammal that's got a fucking venom spot. The platypus. The males are venomous,
Yeah.
and they lay eggs. Like what the fuck? What?
Missy,
What is a platypus? Let's think about that for a second. What?
What's between the woman's legs?
If there is a God, what was he thinking?
Oh my gosh. I have to tell you, Red Eye, when I was in high school, if you're not familiar with Our Country's Good, it is about it's a play about the colonization of Australia. And my brother was like in middle school, and my sister as well. He was in elementary school. My sister was in middle school, and I was in high school. We went to go see Our Country's Good because my mom we would go on Pay What You Can night. And so we would go see this play. She had no idea that they were touching on the sexual nature of the troops who were there and the prisoners who were the colonizers there and their sexual interactions. And so like about right around intermission, when you've got the soldier about to rub one out on stage, Mom's like, okay, then. And my brother's like going, what's he doing, Mom? What's he doing? And my sister's like, what the? And he's like, he's got a picture of his lady, and he's like, I'm doing this for you. And he starts to put his hand down his pants, and my mom's like, oh my God. And I'm just sitting there dying. I'm like, he's going to wank on stage. She took us out at intermission. She was like, I didn't know. And my aunt was there.
Wow.
That's like if anyone's ever seen that movie American Psycho with Christian Bale, where he's having crazy sex with all the hookers. Mm-hmm. I had my dad take me and my sisters to the movies. Well, like he always took us to the movies, and he was asking what like we wanted to see, and I wanted to see that one, but I really didn't think he would like agree with me because we had my sisters, and one was 10 and the other was 7, and he bought all of us tickets to go see American Psycho. So I sat next to my dad while some dude killed hookers.
Wow. My grandma.
Dad wasn't killing hookers when you sat next to him, like Shabisky.
The last movie I went to go see with my grandma, I was a young adult. It was Disclosure. It was Disclosure with Demi Moore and Michael What's-His-Face. And
very sexual movie.
Yes. So I'm sitting there, and she's forcing him to give her oral in their office. And I'm sitting next to my grandma going, my grandma requested to see this film with me.
I remember when my grandma made me oral.
Oh, God.
That was the last movie I saw with her because she was very lonely and she'd want to go to movies sometimes, and she'd call me and I'd go to movies with my grandma, and I'm like, yeah, we're not doing this again. Mm-mm.
I had the dirtiest old grandmama ever in history. She would sit there and just talk about the most perverted shit on the planet. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not joking. My old grandma was an old hoe.
You know nothing until you have had a conversation with my ex's mother. But you can't because she's dead. But
then why would I talk to the dead bitch then?
I'm just saying, she was the most like she would literally talk about the most disgusting things that would like about how giving blowjobs and how you're supposed to give a blowjob, and she's talking about like my 8-year-old.
That ain't disgusting.
But she's telling my 8-year-old kid.
Well, they need to know.
Oh my gosh.
Talking about all her sexual escapades.
That is sick.
I don't ever want to. I accidentally walked into my grandpa naked one day, and you just can't.
Oh no!
Oh God!
Yeah,
you
the
just
worst thing I
can't.
had in my life was when I walked into my mom giving head. That was the
See,
He's
My
white
sister
everywhere.
walked in on me giving head once.
damn.
I got mad. I was cussing, screaming. I started throwing things in the house. I was like 13. I was fucking upset, boy.
My sister was pretty mad at me too.
Yeah. Oh, she caught you giving head?
Then my best friend's stepdad in high school caught me giving my boyfriend head.
Oh, I thought you was gonna say she caught you giving head to your best friend's step.
No.
Damn, this is-
My sister caught me giving head to someone else because that's when I was like a freshman. This is when I was like
You were an
out of
active
high school.
teenager, weren't
I think one of the funniest things my mom ever said when she was a single parent, she overheard me talking on the phone with somebody about oral sex, talking to a friend of mine about oral sex. She had overheard it on the phone. The same day, my sister had gone to her to talk about these strange feelings she's having about boys. And then my brother had been storing like magazines underneath his mattress, and she had found those. And this is all the same day, and she's like, everybody's having sex in this house except for me.
Yeah,
like,
that's basically what it is.
I can't deal with this.
My kid's girlfriend's college, like someone, she goes up to school in New York, but someone tested positive for COVID. So they cleared out all the dormitories and sent everyone home for 2 weeks. So she's been home for the past 2 weeks. So I've had to go and pick him up from his booty calls every fucking night. I'm like, this is just not right. Like, I hate this. He's got hickeys all over his neck. It's like, I don't even like hickeys. And I would want a hickey.
That's a young man. That's a young person's game right there, the hickey thing, because
he had a hickey back here, right? And I'm like, how the fuck? She would have to be like monkeying the fuck around. Like, how does a hickey get back there?
Since this is your son, I'm not gonna make a joke here, but there's a really good joke there for that. I mean, I'm just saying, strap on, hit you in the back of the neck. I'm just saying, but it's your son.
Alex, you and I are gonna have to have a conversation.
I mean, Shabisky's always got a hickey on back in there, always. Girl, your girlfriend sent me pictures that day of what y'all were doing. It was disgusting.
You want to join in?
Yeah.
All right.
Never saw what disgusting.
Do it. Now we're really having fun.
Fred, I was like, what's sex?
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
What?
Do y'all have soundtracks? What's Shabisky's soundtrack for a romantic evening with his lady?
Him and my game controller.
Is it the Mario Kart background, or is it the PlayStation ambient music?
Yeah. Mario Kart.
Or is it that one that you're playing on your channel right now where they're all like going wee, and there's like, I can't make it to the next game show. It's like a weird, it looks like a Japanese game show.
Fallout.
Yeah. Is that it?
Yo, Fall Guys.
Fall
Guys.
Guys.
Fall Guys. That's what I meant.
Get it right, Missy. It's not fucking.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm stoned. Allow me.
Fall Guys. They're like, I'm sorry, I gotta get through this
played
one
it.
more game in order to get to the fun.
Yeah.
They get the crown.
I didn't get the crown yet, babe. Hold on.
That's bad, Shab.
I talked with
Let me
Shab
ask you
about.
something. If your woman was laying right next to you, butt naked, legs open wide, to come and get it, boy, but a new game just came out that you can play for free, brand new, which one would you choose, Shabby?
Both.
No, you can only choose one.
What? No, I could pump and play at the same
No,
time.
it's an
So
option. You have to choose.
I could do it.
Nah,
right.
Shabbat
and
abandoned
play.
the game. He'd abandon the game. That's what Shab would do.
Pump and play.
See, he play. Good night.
Here, say that one more
No,
time,
no,
Shabisky. Say pump and play.
Pump and play, man.
Do you know how disrespected I would feel if someone was pumping my
Hold on, I almost got it. Oh, hold on. Keep sucking.
Oh, God.
Oh, so she's pleasing you as you play the game. You don't even have the.
Well, I'll make her
respect to
turn,
please her.
I'll turn her around and stuff, you know. Mix it up a bit. Fuck you.
You are a fucking horrible human being, Shabby.
Shabby can multitask, boss. It's all right. He can play
That
a game.
boy can't single task. No, it's not multitask. What are you talking about?
Like Shabby can speedrun and make passionate love at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
He's the guy that I have on the VR going with his girl. Put the VR on and say, okay, babe. Okay, I'm about to kill these people here. Right there.
Oh God,
You
I've
know,
seen
I
some
knew him,
great.
too. Brett, I knew him too. But he don't hang around with us no more, but he would rather watch porn than fuck.
Yeah, he was an
He was addicted to porn. He was addicted to it. We were sitting around in a circle together in Seattle, and it was like 4 guys sitting around talking. He was watching porn on his phone when he was talking to us.
That's
Okay, I thought that was
weird.
going to go a completely different direction with your story, but okay.
Yeah.
In a circle?
We were circling jerking, but it was a different type of circle jerking. I was just blowing all the guys.
I was gonna go.
But he was watching porn as we were talking about like serious shit. And I looked at him like, dude, you got a problem.
Oh, I've been on your show too much. My mind goes straight to the gutter now.
I know you're such a slacker.
That's a good assumption to make. It's just we'll just jump straight down into the mud.
I don't know what would make y'all think I would talk about sexual stuff like that without being serious about it.
I don't know. Let's pull up your Google history and have a quick look at it.
Let's not do that in jail.
I'm
Now,
pretty
there's
sure
no
that-
illegal
that-
stuff there, but there's some weird shit in my Google.
No, you're on an FBI watch list just in case.
Let's see. Let me look here right quick and see what I got going.
Oh no.
Oh, bird and naked man for some reason. Yeah, I Googled that the other day. Bird and naked man. That's what I Googled for some reason. That's
Okay.
my last weird one.
Oh, you know what my kid just got in the mail the other day? A plague mask.
Ooh.
Those are fun.
Oh,
Plague
it's so
doctor.
cool looking. Let me go get it.
He got a what? A plague mask?
A
Plague doctors
mask.
are freaky looking
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
characters.
Plague masks are really cool. They have a plague doctor ghost in the Bly Manor, Haunting of Bly Manor on Netflix. And you're like, what the heck?
What the heck? Yeah. If I make my stream go or more, which I really need more than stream go, I may not do a show tomorrow. I want to tell everybody that. I may not. Because I may go and house hunt tomorrow.
It's important to find a house. It should be a buyer's market right now,
Yeah.
given everything that's going on with the
Well, I'm
economy.
not buying, so
Oh, renting. Okay.
yeah, I can't afford to buy.
I don't blame you. Everything is just screwed right now with the economy and all that.
It is, and I'm moving back. I'm gonna try to move back to my hometown. So, 'cause for several reasons. One reason I'm getting my mom there in my hometown to where she'll have like a network because there's a lot of her people's there, and she needs a support network and get her there, and plus get her away from this house. Which yesterday was 11 months since my dad died.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and this house is just constant reminders of it, and so there's several reasons. So I do need to. I'm hoping to be moved by Christmas, hopefully. You know, Shabby needs to buy me a house.
He needs to.
He's got a lot of money now since his male prostitution thing's starting to pay off.
Yeah.
How much you charging now?
$50 for the butt, 30 for the mouth.
What about your ear?
Yeah, what about your ears and
Oh
nostrils?
God. Oh. Guess we could work something out here.
Just
All right, fine. 65. 65. What do you want?
Ear.
Money for the move.
Thank you, Mel. Thank you, Mel. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Everybody needs to follow Mel's lead. Oh, and by the way, where the fuck is John Morgan? That little bastard. I got a bone to pick with him.
A bone.
A bone.
A boner.
A bone.
Oh
So,
my
Red Eye,
god.
tell me something. Tell us a story, Red Eye. I got a story I want to tell here in a minute, but I want you to tell one. And Shabby, you need to get your word of the day right.
Go ahead. No,
Well-
Scientist Mel's here. She'll give us a way better word. Big
The last word I gave you was the alphabet.
smart.
And y'all looked it up.
That was the best word yet.
Bloody beauty.
Oh my god. Yeah, that was
Well-
awesome.
Meanwhile, in Australia, we've got the New South Wales government that's currently collapsing under the weight of its own corruption, and it's really enjoyable to watch. The Premier's recorded secret conversations in a relationship with another member of Parliament, but she kept so secret that her own party didn't fucking know about it. And her boyfriend had been doing real estate deals and maybe taking money to get one of these nationals into game visas. It's on it's right. So, yeah. Australia's a massive shit show when it comes to politics. And it's
We wouldn't know what that is here in America, what a shit show would be in politics.
But compared to what's going on in America right now, it's kind of some seriously crazy shit. There's a whole allegation of the laptop, which I'll just say this, if they can produce the original hard drive so it can be analysed by a third party to confirm its legitimacy, we can start talking about the contents of said hard drive. And that thing originally around saying we should vote because this isn't by water pressure. So yeah, it's all these funny weird tweets.
They tried this October surprise thing that kind of blew in their faces. What happened? Thank you,
Money.
PT. Appreciate that, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh damn.
I would just wait until the original hard drive is produced and it's analysed by a third party, because I've heard 3 different versions of how it all went down, but basically, apparently, Hunter Biden's foundation dropped off a laptop to get repaired, but then didn't go back and get it. And if I was Hunter Biden and all of the stuff that's allegedly on there, you would have gone back for that freaking laptop. You know, you're not leaving that much stuff there. And like I said, original hard drive.
You got quiet, buddy.
Party up. Better?
Yeah, we can barely hear you, man.
All right. Yeah, so hopefully they'll get this shit analysed. I want to see the hard drive analysed by a third party.
Well, that's like those emails
Tiny
that was supposed to make Biden and them look bad when it actually made Biden look like a concerned father. and this shit blew up in their faces big time.
It's just convenient when it was released, and I'll remain skeptical until the original hard drive's analysed by a third party and the metadata and everything's looked at. Because one thing I've heard was the original hard drive has a serial number and it's been supplied to certain people, and the date that it was handed in, the laptop was handed in to get repaired. Well, apparently the hard drive wasn't made for a few weeks after. So if
they had it, they would release the motherfucker already.
That's the thing. Apparently the shop owner, I'm not sure if the shop owner gave the original hard drive to the FBI, whether he kept it and gave them a copy.
Yeah.
So I don't know where the original hard drive is, because there's so many conflicting different versions of this thing. I don't know who's telling the truth. It's because there's 10 different
from
fucking
the
versions.
Trump administration, you have to really.
Oh yeah, I'm not on board with the whole thing. I want to see the original hard drive analysed, third party independent analysts confirm the metadata, and then we can talk about the contents of it. Till then, no point talking about the contents until it's verified as legitimate, eh? That's only fair.
Yeah, anything right now, dude. Look, and I'm not making any predictions, but it does. If you can't see the desperation coming out of the fucking Trump party right now, they're desperate as fuck right now.
There's telltale signs there's definitely some signs that Trump's a bit nervous about.
Is it bad that my dick's hard right now?
From what I understand, Florida's very
The
important.
birds turn you on?
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
I've never seen a bird look like that, first of all. Birds don't have titties. Like that.
That's just terrifying, that mask.
Not really. It's like she can butt
Imagine being back in the days where people were roaming around with these things on and you were tripping out feverishly and then the plague doctors rolled up. You'd just flip the fuck out, wouldn't you, seeing someone come at you like that in their get-up?
I adore the thing.
I have to say, when Missy started talking at first, it was muffling her sound. She sounded like a Charlie Brown adult, and I thought, boy, this got weird.
Yeah.
It gets like foggy really quick though.
Yeah, 'cause
Wonder
you breathe in
why.
this motherfucker.
Jesus Christ.
You still gotta like shape out the beak a little bit more.
Yeah, you gotta start wearing that in public to the store and shit, Missy.
That's
People
my
leave me
best.
alone then.
That'll be your mask.
See, I just, I love this idea of everybody staying 6 feet away from me. It's fantastic. I'm like, why I've been letting y'all breathe on me all this time? Stay 6 feet away forever.
I love that she's smart with that accent. Fucking love it, dude. I'm gonna be honest. Because it's just awesome that she's smart with a southern accent like that. I just love that shit.
And it's funny is this isn't even a heavy accent. When I go over, it's like overseas, so like UK and London, like you got such the cutest southern accent. Like if y'all lived out where I live, I could barely understand anybody because I was living in Vegas for about 3.5 years. When I moved back, I had to reacclimate myself to the accent because I really could not understand what people were saying to me. It was just like, there were people talking like at the post office. Yeah, I'm gonna need about a 5-inch leg. And I'm like, it was like Boomhauer everywhere, except like heavy Southern accent on top of that.
Oh, that Creole sort
I
of.
say people always talk
That's
about my
crazy.
accent. My accent doesn't sound like your average Southern accent because I got a mixture of like old black woman and Southern white dude. It's weird sounding. I don't sound like your average Southern dude.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
No, you don't.
It's
There's this
worse.
show. I
I
can't
sound
remember
worse.
which channel it's on. I think it's like on one of the Animal Planets or A&E or whatever. But they would hunt crocodiles, and there was like down
That
like
would be
Louisiana.
your coon ass accent.
Well, there's this one dude named Troy, and he had this like French.
You'd be alligators
Yo-
hunting, not crocodiles.
Yeah,
Yeah. I was about to say, crikey, what's
Yeah.
going on?
whatever it was. They were hunting those things,
Mhm.
and this one dude had it was like French and Southern mixed together.
That's Creole.
Yeah, Creole.
Creole, coon ass.
Yeah, that's the guys where you.
I could listen to
And
Creole
no,
all
coon
day
ass is
long.
not a racial fucking slang.
Oh,
The other day somebody said that on Twitter and everybody was jumping on this person. I'm like, whoa, back up. That's nothing to do with race.
no, Creole, if you want to see a good example of Creole, Wild Boys episode where Steve-O's getting bitten by a alligator snapping turtle and they've got an old Creole dude there and you cannot understand a single they've had to put up like text for him because you can't. He's just like, oh, you want to see that? It's like, what the fucking fuck?
Well, that's the thing. This guy on the show, you could actually understand him.
Oh no, this
Tell me
old guy,
stories all night.
you could not understand you could probably pick one word out of 15 if you were having a really good run. He was just, and he was the one letting people get bit by this snapping turtle, and he was just having the time of his life. He couldn't believe that there's city folk lining up to get bit by this thing, and he's like, here you go.
Hilarious.
Latching it onto his arse cheek, that was fucking great. And they had to get something to pry its mouth open because it just went, yeah, I'm not going to let go. Fuck it. So it's got this turtle hanging off his butt cheek. And what was the other one? One of those coconut crabs. He let one grab onto his butt cheek as well. That was pretty fucking funny.
I love it how a lot of folks who hadn't dealt with animals like that, like snapping turtles, think that they can't get bit because turtles are supposed to be slow.
Oh, no.
I'm like, you fucking moron.
They're ambush predators. That's what they do. They sit there and go, and then really quickly go, chomp.
And dude, you see some of them big ass motherfuckers, they crush fucking coconuts and shit.
Yeah, they get a wiener and they just shove one in one's mouth, and this thing just goes, and it just slices it just like it's butter. Chomp.
Don't jump on that and say something stupid.
Slice your wiener like butter.
What?
Oh
You
my
just
gosh.
talked about sticking a wiener in a turtle's mouth. There's nothing sexual about that.
No, not at all.
Pimp?
Oh.
As soon as he said wiener, I seen your eye.
Wiener. Yeah, I was
Oh
like,
my
what?
gosh.
Wiener? Who said wiener?
I have a question.
Okay.
Speaking of sticking stuff in your mouth in other places,
Mhm.
I've been asking different friends that on channels that I appear to see if they're interested in doing the cheese ball Carolina Reaper challenge.
Hell no, I can't. My stomach. I mean,
That's
I used to try. I used to love spicy food, but I can't now. I'll die.
Oh gosh, I'm sorry. I know. Are you down, Shabisky?
I
will
probably
try.
couldn't be able to
I'm not
handle
going
it.
to allow
I mean,
him to do it.
I
He'll
have
kill himself.
I have some ghost pepper hot sauce in the fridge, and that shit is like hell for me to have any of it. And Carolina Reaper's hotter than
Yes, they
ghost
are.
pepper,
I have
right?
a whole bag of cheese balls over here. I had one. It wasn't too bad. As long as you've got some kind of dairy that's got a lot of fat in it, it's all
Does
right.
it brag
I ate
about
the ghost chip
Kelvin using
thing.
it?
You know the ghost chip?
Yeah.
I ate one of those with my brother, and yeah, dude. It really, to me, it wasn't that bad at the moment. Later on, when I took a shit, that's when it.
Yeah, what is it
These
with,
are
with
just
your
cheese balls, though. But I know, Pimp, you can't. Do
I
that
am
because
just
it
a
doesn't
wimp.
stink.
My stomach won't allow it.
Yeah, that's
All
all
right.
right.
I've
But
got a
these
scientific question, and it's important. I need to know, why is it that my butthole can sense spice? Why can't it sense sweet things like, oh, I've had chocolate? Oh, that's pleasant. Why is it only detects?
Well, you're not supposed to
the-
stick
the-
stuff
the-
in your ass.
Yeah,
First of all.
don't ruin my genuine question.
Oh,
Why
I've
is it
had
that our
chocolate.
butts can only sense spice and not other things like sweetness and other things like that? What's going on?
I want my
Okay,
butt to be able
so
to be like, oh, I've had
the
chocolate.
nature of like the thing that makes the pepper spicy is the oils in it, right?
Aha.
And so oil is not soluble in water, right? It's fat soluble. And
Uh-huh.
so this is why, for instance, when you're eating something super spicy, like a ghost pepper or something like that, you have to have some kind of dairy thing because of the fact it has some of that milk fat that's in there. The milk is soothing because it's cool, but also that fat allows that pepper to kind of dissolve and not be so heavily interacting with all of the cells as it goes down. But
That
see,
makes sense.
it's still not 100% soluble. So as it's coming out, it's still going to fire off some of those receptors, because your whole lining of your gut is that skin epithelial. So it's the same type of tissue as like your skin is. And so this is why you have to wear gloves when you touch things like that, because your cells are particularly sensitive to that. But they're not sensitive like that with chocolate, because, as far as like the cocoa and stuff and the oils that are in like a chocolate bar are not firing off those sensors.
So what if you line your butthole with yogurt before you go poop?
That might help. But, you do run a risk of an infection because there's sugars in there. So just
That's
saying,
true.
be careful.
I can't handle fucking mild salsa. I'm a wimp.
That's okay.
And I think it's what fucked me up. I used to eat major hot shit. I mean, like major all the time. And now I can't. I feel
Man.
like I'm having a heart attack if I eat it.
Did you
Yep.
ever
I
watch
used-
A Million Ways to Die in the West with Seth MacFarlane, where
Yes.
those guys working in the mine and they couldn't eat, they could only eat spicy stuff and they fart themselves to death?
I used to put four teaspoons of cayenne in my Mongolian barbecue.
Damn.
That was good shit. It was like
Mad lad.
the oil was red. The oil she's talking about from the meat would turn red from the cayenne. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Missy, what are we doing the second hour?
We eat, man.
We eat them, man. That's right. That's when I tell you to give us money, you do so. In the description below, Shabisky has a Patreon. Please become a patron of his. He deserves it. Missy has a Patreon who has some lovely perks over her as well. Some photos for your viewing pleasure. Become a patron of hers. Also, Booleanenator has a Patreon. He's a great producer, deserves it very much. So please become a patron of his. I have a Patreon, Streamlabs, with a direct link to PayPal. And I will also post my Cash App in the chat if you want to tip that way. Tomorrow is a host-only show. If we do the show, if I make enough money, I may not do the show tomorrow. Maybe going house hunting, but we'll see. But Thursday we have Fire Ronin and To Be Determined, and that's it.
Awesome. Y'all give him money so he can move That's really important.
Yeah, I gotta get the fuck out. And when I do move, I'm gonna go to Nevada and beat the shit out of Shabisky.
Yay.
Actually, if next year the COVID is brought down a little bit, we are planning on doing the gathering.
Oh yeah.
It'd be me, Missy, Shabisky, and Booleanenator if he can make it. I think he said he might be able to do it, and we'll have. I think we're gonna do it on the West Coast this year. So, well, this next time anyway, which will be very cool to do. Last time we did a pimp gathering, we did it in Myrtle Beach, and we had a ball. 11 of us rented a house, and it was pretty cool. We did shit every night. The last night I did an improv night for the people that were there. It was pretty funny. And so yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Shabisky's gonna do a mule show, a donkey show at the next one.
Oh wow.
Hey, we're supposed to keep that a surprise, okay?
Yeah. The donkey will be Shanny for Christ.
Oh God.
Day trip to Tijuana.
Man.
Shabby's day trip to Tijuana. Yay.
Tijuana donkey?
Si, senor.
Missy, what are you doing?
Sorry, I was writing something down.
Was you writing down? What was you writing down, Missy?
The guest that was on for Thursday.
You can say none of my goddamn business if you want to.
Oh, I was writing down the guest that's on for Thursday.
Oh. The what?
It says the Morning Wood.
Oh, okay. I thought it said the mom. I was like, the mom's gonna be on again?
No. That says it's on the top, and then I got all the guests that have been on all month so far.
This would be a really good time to. This is a good time to remind Pimp that he needs to buy some fucking glasses because apparently he's just demonstrated to everybody that he can't read.
Yeah.
I can't.
Trying to doodle on it.
I do need glasses. That's a fact.
You've been needing glasses for about 18 fucking months now. You know those headaches that you keep regularly getting after you read stuff?
I know.
Yeah, they go away when you buy your first set of glasses.
Sometimes I'll look over to the chat room and it's all like a big black blob on a white screen.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't do chat without glasses now. It's like new. I've actually got 2 sets of glasses because I got, what is it, hyperopia? What is it? Basically, my eyes are degenerating. So short and long range vision are degenerating now at the same rate, and it's going to meet in the middle until everything becomes a blurry clusterfuck.
Yeah. See, I'm developing farsightedness, and I've been nearsighted my entire life. And they're like, well, as you get older, you start to get farsightedness. I'm like, oh, well, maybe I'll kind of grow out of this then. And they're like, no, you're just going to get worse with your vision. So I wear glasses to see far away. Because if I don't, everybody gets like that Hollywood glow, that really nice Hollywood glow. It's all the filters that everybody uses. It's instant filter for everyone when I feel like. But then I can't read with my glasses on. So I have to take off my glasses in order to read. Getting old sucks, guys. It really sucks.
But
I've never been able to see. I've been wearing glasses since I was in the 2nd or 3rd grade, and they noticed because I was always squinting at the board, and I would always hold my books like this close to my face.
Yeah.
So I've close or far, I've never been able to see. I'm blind as a bat. I have nightmares of not having my glasses and driving. Because I've never I need them, I can't go without them legally blind.
I found out that I can no longer jump out of airplanes, but
Why?
Given that I couldn't do that, I wasn't doing that before. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you give up for Lent? Naked skydiving every year, man. Every year I give it up for Lent.
Naked skydiving. I know that's probably a thing for real.
Probably.
Why?
People just like to be extra,
But that's one thing I don't think. Skydiving in general, I always ask why, but doing it naked is just like, because there's things in the air that could fly at your asshole.
Now, and I'd just like to point out that the female form is very good to look at when it's posing on a couch or wherever, but as it's plummeting through the air at terminal velocity, it loses its grace and it becomes this.
They're everywhere.
Yeah.
Think of Missy skydiving naked. The poor girl would be dead by the time she hit the ground. I'm
Knock herself
serious.
out. She'd be knocked out cold.
Hey, she would be beat to fucking dead.
And old naked people never ever should skydive because they kind of like have their own wingsuit at that point. They could stretch their skin and still start flying away like a flying squirrel. And nobody wants to see that.
I'm still imagining Missy getting beat up in the sky.
Missy beat up in the sky with diamonds. Oh my god.
Oh,
There's a song there. Shabisky, come up with a song about Missy skydiving naked like a rat or something. You can do that, right?
Yeah, my next hit coming out. Missy Titty Skydive. I don't know. I'll figure out a good title for it. Skydiving Titty Girl. I don't fucking know. I have to put some time into it. Okay, it'll be art. It'll be beautiful. And for the music video, you have to literally skydive naked, Missy. Okay, that's how we're doing the music video.
So suicide.
We'll blur your nipples or whatever the fuck. Okay, and your
No George Lucas CGI.
Okay.
Yeah, we'd have to get a new co-host because she would die. I'm telling you, the chick would not survive this.
Yeah, but we'd get like 10 million views.
That's true.
Missy died for your views.
Do it for the views, guys.
Sacrifice.
Do everything for the fans, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you had a video and it just was titled "Girl Concussed by Her Own Boobies as She Parachutes or Skydives," you'd get some serious hits on that video. Just saying.
Yeah. And you could use it as an educational video, so YouTube wouldn't take it down.
Correct.
This is why you shouldn't do this.
Yeah.
Women with certain cup sizes.
Yeah, you'd have to. I
ground.
would stop at C cup.
And we could get sponsored by a bra company and a parachute company.
Yeah.
Huh?
You could have bras that double as both.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Are you falling
Whoa.
out of an airplane? Take off your bra and land safely.
Wow.
That's what the
Parachute.
parents
Use
use.
the
A big
parachute,
bra.
yeah.
It becomes a parasail. Oh my fucking god.
Yeah.
We need to
Wow.
get on this immediately.
And
Absolutely.
if you're the lower half really big, you can use Shanny's panties as a fucking parachute.
Now we've gone too far.
Shanty panty.
But all the
Man.
stuff that would be in it, though.
Ew.
You know she's got a sponsor now, right? You know that?
Anybody can get that sponsor. That
Oh
cold
my
water
God.
bottle.
I know. She has to pay them.
Yeah, so I pointed it out, like, it was the
What?
funniest thing ever. She made a video where she's like, I got a new sponsor, guys, and it's the coolest water bottle. Guys, make sure to she couldn't even say it right. She's like, get the code or press the code or click the link in the description below. Like, oh, she's the greatest at this. But then I'm like, I wonder how easy I could become an affiliate with them. Whatever, get them as. I look it up. Boom. Next thing, like it's $10 a month or $100 a year, and you can sell our water bottles. You'll get 20% of the income from your sales, and you get a free water bottle.
Yeah.
What?
Order
So
today.
$100 and you get a
$100
free
each.
water bottle and 20% of any sales that come from the link that they use on your channel.
And nobody's
Yeah.
buying that water bottle for a link. So basically, she bought a very expensive water bottle.
Yeah, she got the world's
Yeah.
most expensive water bottle.
And then
How-
she did all those cameos. I heard she spent like $1,000 on having celebrities tell her how great she is.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God. Did she do that? I didn't know she did this.
Yeah, she did that.
She
Gilbert
went on
Godfrey.
cameo.
Pretty sure Gilbert Godfrey was one of them.
I thought about having the dude that used to play Hercules. What's his name? That guy.
Kevin.
Kevin Sorbo.
Kevin Sorbo.
Yeah.
I thought about giving him like a string of like chemical elements just to say, but when you spell them out, it says I'm an idiot. And then have it do that, like, I would take that.
Yeah. Thank you, Tim.
Disappointed.
That was just one of the best moments on the internet ever when I first saw that thing, and then I realised what was going on, and I was just so happy.
Yeah.
That was fun. If you don't know, which is a very popular man, Kevin Sorbo was supposed to. He was reading the cue cards, I guess, and he was supposed to act like he was disappointed, but yet he yelled out, "Disappointed!"
Yeah.
I wish I could have seen the director's face when that happened. The director probably pulled out a gun and just put it in his mouth and just went and blew his brain.
Imagine
their brains
everybody
out.
laughs at him on set, starts cracking up.
Well, I wonder what happened off camera. Did everyone just sort of just remain really like that's?
They just all like kind of looked at each other like.
You know,
Like,
burst out
try not to
laughing.
laugh.
Yeah.
Disappointed.
Just
Thank you to Chains.
It's
It
weird
was-
how she'll put a big like pause in between a lot of things. He put disappointed with a space and it didn't do any pause, but it'll just randomly do it.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Here's my thing about like Shandy though, is why doesn't she use the G?
She does when she says the N word.
Yeah, that's the thing. When she says wrong, she says Ron. But yet she perfectly put the G's in when she said the N word.
It's only the words that end in G. She leaves the G off.
I think you're Ron right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that one too. I forgot about that one.
I really wish I could have an intervention for Sandy, but I don't know that she can be saved.
No, she won't listen. She's gonna be a victim.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's. But look, here's the thing. We're gonna spend a long time talking about Shandy. Shandy does have a problem, an issue, and here's what it is. She's one of those people that any attention is good attention. It doesn't matter if it's bad or good. To her, it's attention, and that's what matters. And I think people are giving her that attention. I know it's hard not to with the shit she does, but as long as you give her that attention, she's gonna keep on doing the stupid shit.
Yeah. That's why I tend to just ignore certain people. Just like, don't give them attention. And then they're like, oh, she's not going to respond to me. And then they go away. It's great.
Sometimes they go away.
Yeah.
Sometimes they become fixated and obsessed and think that you're plotting against them for some reason. Even
Oh,
though
it's
you're not
hard
really
when it's
fucking
those
anything
two.
at all.
It's hard not to give these people attention because they're going to try their best to stay in your sights because they feel that that somebody's paying attention to them.
It's a need. It's a need that they have. And they're like, I have to have this person pay attention to me.
Yeah, it doesn't
You're
matter.
not important enough for my attention. You're not even important enough to hate.
Yeah.
She's talking to you.
Come on.
What did I do? I was just
Why
looking
do
at
you hate Shabisky for, Missy? Why are you picking on Shabisky? He's just getting over a sickness. Why are you fucking with him?
the Sky Titty
What
thing.
is this? You had the shits yesterday morning, but you didn't have the shits last night. What's up with that?
24-hour shits. That he shitted all the Taco Bell out.
Oh, I don't even know if it was necessarily the Taco Bell, but I just felt bad. I did kind of feel bad yesterday, and the day before I felt even worse. So I don't know. I feel like I got like a little cold or something like that. I kind of felt like I had Corona a couple days ago.
Kind of. No, but if you had Corona, you know they don't kind of feel like it. I don't think.
Well,
he
I'm
could
sure
be
there's
asymptomatic.
many stages, to it, and that's what I was thinking I might be in.
I'm hoping. But hey, some people. Dude, I had a cousin who had it, her and her husband both, and they had they were like nothing. They were like, it wasn't shit.
Yeah,
A
different
lot of
versions.
people are asymptomatic.
Yeah.
I mean, there's various strains right now.
There is.
And so, but the thing is, particularly with COVID-19, we can still have a vaccine because of the fact the outside of the virus hasn't changed that much. It's just some of the functionality of it, whether it's becoming more infectious whether it's increased viral load. And by the way, guys, there are more studies that show if you wear a mask, you lower the viral load that you breathe in.
Oh, yeah.
So wear a mask because it does stop some of the
Oh,
virus.
by the
not
way,
all of it, but yeah,
speaking of the COVID, a while back we had a mask mandate, right? Well, we were the first state to lift the mask mandate. Guess what happened yesterday? Mask mandate back!
Finger guns!
Finger guns! They brought it back yesterday because, of course, because we had a fucking huge goddamn spike in Corona after they stopped wearing masks.
Look, everywhere that's been easing up on England, there's several countries in Europe that are getting their ass kicked. Meanwhile, in my state, we've had a few cases come in, and they're usually international travel. We're under 10 cases in our state. We've had around 1,000 people pass away, which is just, it's when you directly compare us to California, which is roughly the same size in population, it's just chalk and cheese. It's the difference in approach was our health officers took charge and fucking did shit. And there's a lot of people that have been taking it to high courts and challenging it. And luckily our constitution basically says if it's needed, the government can mandate it under certain circumstances. And this is one of those times where it's just necessary to fucking do it. And
So
our state,
high courts, your courts need to really stop smoking weed.
Well, speaking of smoking weed, New Zealand looks like they're going to go full legal.
Good.
Did you see that France next year is going to hand out free weed to people?
Well, Shabby's moving to France.
I'm moving to France. Fuck that.
Shabby's like, pack my fucking bags, I'm gone.
Parlez-vous français?
And then
Shabby's
okay,
like, Hollywood, where my fucking weed?
my stupid ex will not cancel the fucking ridiculous subscription to the Epoch Times that he keeps having sent to my stupid house. But this morning, when it was sitting on the table, I saw a thing on it that they're going around saying that because this kid was taking high concentrations of marijuana, he killed himself because of the marijuana.
Yeah.
I would
And
be
that pisses
dead
me
like
off.
20
That
times
pisses
over
me
by
off.
now. That was true.
Right. But that's basically what the fucking thing is implying. Is
Well, you people injecting that marijuana are no better.
Yeah, it wouldn't catch me doing that. Nope.
Oh,
No
my
way.
gosh.
Never.
It's just, I don't know of any, I cannot think of, off the top of my head, any case where there's been a marijuana overdose.
No, the only time you can ever overdose on pot or get killed by a fucking weed is if a fucking ton of it fell on top of your head from 30 stories up. Then weed will kill you.
Here's what I suspect when a lot of people have a bad reaction to smoking weed. It's not the weed doing it. It's mold. Because if you don't kill weed right, it goes moldy. And over the years, I've unknowingly gotten batches where it was in fact moldy, and you get sick after a few days, and you soon put two and two together and go, oh fuck, throw that away.
Unless you're allergic to weed.
Well,
There are
and that, of course, that too. But a lot of the people that aren't allergic to weed that have a bad reaction, it could be now mold. And what happens when it goes federally legal after Biden becomes president is it finally becomes legal to do scientific research on it. It's really hard to do scientific research on a substance that's fucking illegal, because how do you get hold of it?
Yeah. Speaking of Biden, I don't mean to change that, but one of the things I am excited about Biden is, and I'm trying to find the things that I'm excited about Biden, because he wasn't one of my first choices, but was that he wants to get rid of privatized prisons.
Yes.
That'd be a really good idea for America.
Yes.
It really would. Oh my God.
A major big deal, because I don't know if some of you know, when I did the Pimpmunk show a few years back, I did one episode about the prison system, and I really went for weeks and weeks and weeks and studied about prison system and got deep into it. And privatized prisons are bad.
They really are.
They're not
because
here
it's
to
for
rehabilitate
profit.
any fucking body.
Mm-mm.
They won't return customers. It's rough. It's rough, and I think Biden is onto something there.
Yeah, and to be fair, it's going to take a while to undo the massive mess that we have right now. It's probably going to take at least a good 10 years.
Oh yeah, but get started though would be a good thing. Yeah.
Yes. So it's really frustrating for me because I didn't vote for the orange menace of a waste of human space that's administration right now, and people are like, well, you had no way to know that this was coming. Like, yes, I did. Have you paid attention to his life? Have you paid attention at all? Did you really think that any of this was going to end well? I couldn't foresee a pandemic, but I could certainly say this man don't know how to handle one.
Yeah,
I mean, he doesn't know anything. Even his professors at an Ivy League school thought he was stupid. So I'm like, and then my grandfather who voted for him is like, well, he graduated. I have more degrees than Trump. How about we listen to the only person who has that in this entire house right now, Grandpa?
And he went to Ivy League school because he's rich.
Yes, he did. Wharton's not that super awesome, and his family donated an undisclosed amount of money to that particular college, and his classmates say he was a jerk. His professors didn't say there was anything exceptional about him. It's just there's nothing there. So I'm like, oh my God, yes, I could see all of this happening. Y'all don't listen to anybody else, including my grandparents. He says words that you like, and you just like an old white dude sitting around being in charge of stuff, because that's you. So I'm just like, that's what you are, Grandpa.
And I'd just like to add, it was just a coincidence that the school got 3 new libraries and 15 new buildings the first year that Donnie started attending that school. Just a coincidence. Nothing to see here. Move along, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shh. Just keep moving. Don't look back. Nothing to see.
And now he's hating on Dr. Fauci. And let me just say, I got a diet crush on that 70-year-old man, Dr. Fauci. I love Dr. Fauci. And for real diet crush, I look at him and I'm like, my God, what that man has been through and what he's seen in his life. Working with Ebola, getting in there, treating patients. He wouldn't have his staff do anything he wasn't willing to do himself. And I'm sitting there going, you're going to sit here and talk shit about Dr. Fauci? Oh my God. It's almost like Dr. Fauci is like the Mr. Rogers of immunology right now. And I'm just like, we don't do that to Dr. Fauci. I'm so fired up about that.
Well, didn't they report that Donald Trump had a temper tantrum and was screaming at his staff about Fauci and all this shit?
No, he was on a call. He was on a group call with fucking journalists listening in. He knew the journalists were listening into this particular call, which is why he went, wah, 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 wah. But funnily enough, about an hour or two later, the next soundbite was, oh no, he's a great guy. He was wrong about the mask thing, but that's okay. We all make mistakes. I really like the guy. He's just great. He just wants to be on TV, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm listening to Trump just going, the mental gymnastics going on right now. Are you actually, what? And I start basically doing a Trump in my own head. And I've stopped trying to figure it out. It's just like, it's a shit show. I call it Clusterfuck 2020.
It's terrible.
It's a shit show.
He didn't listen to Dr. Fauci in the beginning. And the reason why Dr. Fauci said not to wear masks in the beginning was to reserve them for healthcare staff.
Yeah, that's why. So leave that little nuanced piece of the conversation out, like, you see.
Every single person that I talk to that goes, the second law of thermodynamics, disproves evolution. I'm like, no, you say the first half, but you don't say the second half. The second half of thermodynamics, everybody always leaves out, as far as the second law. I'm like, it's the same thing. Dr. Fauci said, please, let's reserve these masks for our healthcare staff. That's what he said. He never said, don't wear masks, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there was a massive shortage at the start of this pandemic of N95 masks. And then there was the problem of a Chinese factory putting out millions of these fucking things that weren't actually up to spec. So they weren't actually doing what they were supposed to do and filter down to that certain level, which was just why there was a whole big spike of infections at the start everywhere, because everyone thought they were okay as best protected as they could be. And look, we've also learned now about COVID that people are being treated, they lie them on their belly and they're incubating them later because it's the immune system kicks off, and the thing that it's messing with it, there's a lot of it in our lungs, and that's why it's kind of nearly like the Spanish flu, where it was the healthy people that got the sickest sometimes, but now it's just old people. But it's the same sort of thing. It's our immune system is doing a lot of damage to us, and they're learning more and more about the possible long-term effects of it too, like the cardiovascular system's being damaged, circulatory system. So yeah, but that's why the death rate is actually starting to drop now, even though numbers are spiking. The death rate's sort of hovering around the same because we've learnt a lot on how to treat patients with this now. We went in blind, and we've learned a lot in the last it's been going on 10 months now. So that's there's light at the end of the tunnel. We've just got to hang in there. Social distancing, masks, and if you live in an area that's got an outbreak, just stay the fuck at home. Because in the long run, it's gonna be easier if you stay at home for 6 weeks now, and because if you don't, fuck knows what's gonna happen. It's in another 6 weeks.
It's insane because the reason why it's attacking, why we're seeing so much damage, is because the type of receptor that the virus uses to enter into these healthy cells is on just about every single cell in your body, and it's primarily like in your kidneys. You have a high expression. I think it's the ACE receptor. You have a high expression of that, and that's how cells communicate with one another. And so that's that little antenna that sticks on the outside of those cells. So if it's there, the virus can attach to it and inject its stuff into the cell. So it's on the kidneys, it's in the heart, it's in all of the epithelial linings of your lungs, like all those skin type of tissue. So it's all there. It's causing blood clots, which are leading to strokes. So even if you get the virus and you recover, you can still have permanent damage from this virus. So people are like, oh, it only kills this much, but they're forgetting the fact that even asymptomatic people still have lung damage.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
They still have lung damage. And we don't know if it's permanent.
It's a nasty fucking virus.
Yeah, it is.
It's a lot of the long-term stuff isn't being considered yet because obviously a lot of people are hurting due to not being able to work, and I've nothing but fucking sympathy for everybody out there that's been done like that. But it's what can we do other than fucking wait for this fucking vaccine to come out and do our best to keep the emergency departments of our hospitals with as least amount of people in there as possible, because you guys are coming up on fucking winter.
Yeah.
It's like the song says, you ain't seen nothing yet. We're coming into summer, so we're getting a break. And out here, everything's going to be on fire again. They say we'll probably forget all about the coronavirus because it'll be dead from fire.
Well, that's one of the problems here in America, I think, is that we got so much other shit going on. We're starting to get comfortable with the virus. It's weird.
This happens with all pandemics. If you go back to look through history, you'll get the first wave and everyone goes, oh, and then they'll relax and start to, and not care, and then boom, second wave. And there's some places just on the cusp of a third fucking wave now. It's just like, oh shit.
I heard you're gonna have a bad winter too.
It's scary. And the thing is if you manage to get a COVID, even a mild COVID infection, you get the flu on top of that.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You're looking at a lethal combination. A lot of people are dying in the hospital, not from COVID, but from a secondary infection of something else, like pneumonia or the flu. And so when a misconception, when they were talking about looking at the actual death certificates of what killed a person, they can still have COVID-19, but die of the flu. And so that's what's getting put on the death certificates. There's a guy, an example, there's a kind of similar. There's a guy, I think he's in Alabama, who's a chiropractor. He touts cancer cures out of his office, cancer treatments. His wife had stage 4 breast cancer, and she got in a car wreck and had to have surgery. Well, she died on the table. She still had stage 4 breast cancer, but on her death certificate, it talks about the car accident. So he tells people that he cured his wife of stage 4 breast cancer because that's not what killed her. Yeah. So it's like, that dude makes me mad. So it's that kind of mentality. Well, that's not what's on the death certificate, but that doesn't mean that wasn't a contributing factor. Maybe if she didn't have stage 4 breast cancer, she would have survived this surgery. You see what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
That just, makes me nuts because I want to put my head through the wall.
Yeah. Now, there's one good thing that's come out of this whole COVID isolation thing is that the flu numbers for Australia this winter were fucking so down. It wasn't funny. It was like really because we've stopped shaking hands, which is one of the main things. Because in Australia, everyone goes, "G'day, mate," shakes hands, and everyone's just got the flu within a fucking week. It just didn't happen this winter because most people were like, "Fuck you, I'm staying at home." Which is so just
that's not happening here.
I think what we should do as a species is consign the handshake to the fucking history fucking bin and just go and come up with a new one where, I don't know, kick at each other's feet or just throw a tennis ball. Yeah, that one.
Yep. Do what the Japanese do. They bow.
Yeah. Maybe do some martial arts kata. If they're really, you want to impress someone, you just come up and
We could go back to the 80s and David Hasselhoff and do finger guns.
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah.
We should.
That'd
Let's
work.
bring the finger gun back.
I think we all should just kick each other in the testicles and our vaginas.
Oh, no.
Or we
No.
could do the pretend punch in the stomach. Ugh. And you're like,
Yeah. I
like
ugh.
Or we can do jazz hands.
Yep.
Come up and jazz hands each other.
Spit in each other's mouths.
Yeah. We could do the cabbage patch, right? The old cabbage patch when we see each other.
Dab at each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah. We could dab.
Shoot
We could
each other.
Carlton. We could
Yeah,
do the
look-
Carlton every time we see each other.
We can
No,
moonwalk
this-
by each other.
Let's just we'll let the young decide. So it's probably going to be one of those dab-like things from Fortnite. That's how we're going to greet each other for the next 100 years. Is some victory dance from Fortnite.
Let's just not notice each other. How about that?
Yeah. Let's just not talk to each other ever again.
Or each other.
Or
Oh my God. I would love that because it's just, even when I would go to, I love it when people don't bother me. I have like giant headphones that I wear at the grocery store. I'm like, I just want to freaking buy my groceries. And some MFer would come up to me and be like, hey, and tap me on the, I don't even know who they are. I really like your hair. I just wanted to tell you, what are you doing today? I'm shopping. I'm getting groceries. What do you think I'm doing at the grocery store? Or they'll follow me out to my cart and ask me for stuff. I'm like, I can wear headphones, but if I wear a mask and I'm pretending to cough the whole time, maybe they will leave me alone forever. I love that.
Yes.
Mhm.
We should just be required to grunt at each other as we walk past. Like,
Little Tim Allen
Speaking of
action.
grunting, I saw a tweet this morning that said your camel toe grunted at me.
Really?
Well, if that fucking thing is grunting at you, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on there.
Right?
Yeah.
That was a bit odd.
First question: are we dealing with the sentient creature?
I have no
here?
idea.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
all.
neither do I.
The tweet
That's-
just said your camel toe grunted at me.
Wow.
Hmm.
At least it didn't burp.
That's
Yeah.
kind of.
Can you imagine if that's somebody who has like schizophrenia or some multiple personality disorder? They start thinking like, this camel toe's been talking to me all day, and I feel like
Yeah.
I have
They
to
just
go.
run around the
So
public
it's
places
like-
yelling at people's vaginas.
And it's
Walk
and
into Starbucks. Did
here's
you
the best
hear
bit.
what she said? What
It's
her?
got a-
No, her camel toe.
Yeah,
Did you hear
and
what her camel toe said?
it's got a
I would
voice
like
from
my
the fucking
frappuccino now, please.
and the voice is from the fucking plant from the Little Shop of Horrors. It's like, Seymour, feed me. No, too far. No.
No, that's fine.
I had some lady come up to me the other day and was like, "What are you doing here?" And I looked at her. I was like, "Excuse you?" And she was like, "Oh my God, I'm sorry. I thought you were someone else." I was like, "Well, who the fuck are you talking to like that? Even if you know them."
Damn.
Rude as fuck. What are you doing
No.
here?
I think I might just carry my hungry beaver around on my hand with a mask, and then just when I go grocery shopping, and then people might just leave me alone and be like, "Why does she have a puppet on her hand?" You don't want to
Oh
know.
my
Talk
God.
to them with
You-
that.
You could do Rimmer from Red Dwarf in the quarantine episode. Please tell me you know Red Dwarf.
Yes, I do know
Rimmer
Red
and the-
Dwarf.
I've actually got a quarantine shirt with Rimmer dressed up as in the strawberry shortcake with Mr. Flipsy, the penguin puppet. It's my favourite shirt on the fucking planet. It just says quarantine 2020 smegheads.
I tried to watch the new Red Dwarf. It just wasn't catching me like the old series. It just wasn't, and I hate that because I like the old Red Dwarf series.
Yeah, it's airing on the ABC at the moment, so I'm catching up on the first 4 series, and yeah, it's the old stuff's just fucking funny.
Yeah, the new stuff is just, I'm trying, and it's just not resonating with me like the old ones. And by the way, this is advertised as the Hungry Beaver on Amazon. I'm just letting you know. I didn't make that up.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I watched a movie the other night called The Tale of Tales. It's got Salma Hayek in it.
Oh. Go ahead.
This is the weirdest fucking movie. And y'all know I like some weird shit.
Yeah.
But it's like fairy tales, right? And Salma Hayek, she's a queen, and she really wants to have a kid, but she can't have a kid. So this, like, crazy wizard dude, really, really tall, I think he's on stilts or something, he shows up. He's like, I know how you have a kid. You got to go and kill a sea monster and get its heart. Then bring its heart back here and have a virgin cook it for you. And then you eat the whole thing, and poof, you're pregnant. So the king is like, oh, I'm going to go do this. And he puts on this crazy fucking suit thing. And this is like 14, whatever the fuck. And the suit that they have going, like, there's no, like, air supply coming from anywhere. Mm-hmm. It's just this crazy tin suit. And he walks up to this thing that looks like a bearded dragon on the seafloor and cuts it open and takes the heart. And he ends up dying. And Salma Hayek eats the fucking, the virgin bitch cooks the fucking heart, and Salma Hayek eats the entire thing, and it's like gigantic. It's like this big. And she's just chewing into it. And then all of a sudden they get pregnant, but the virgin bitch gets pregnant too. That's what the little wizard dude doesn't tell her. But during all of this, like, this story is going on. And then there's another story going on where this other king has found a flea, and he's obsessed with this flea, and he's going to, like, make the flea his pet. And then while this is all going on, there's another story going on where there's a king and he fucks everybody in the kingdom. And he really, really wants to fuck this one chick because he heard her singing. And he's like, I haven't fucked you yet. Let me come fuck you. Like, he's tapping on the door like, oh, it's crazy. So she sticks her finger out the door. And he's like moaning and sniffing and like it's the weirdest movie, guys.
Wow. Yeah.
That sounds exactly like an LSD trip I once had.
It kind of felt like that. There's an ogre that comes involved. Like the flea ends up being like, I'm not even telling.
Did he fuck the flea?
No, he didn't fuck the flea. At least I don't know if he fucked the flea.
I don't know. This just sounds like an Adult Swim show.
It sounds like a bad porn.
It's really weird.
It sounds weird.
I have to ask you guys, what's the scariest movie? Because we're coming up on the Halloween. What's the scariest movie or the most disturbing movie you've ever seen that you'll never watch again?
Mm-hmm.
It's actually, what was it called? It was, it's called Killings, and it was just actual footage from around the world of people being brutally fucking ended, and it
that
wasn't
sounds like
fake.
Faces of Death.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those movies, and yeah, the one that got me was a kid that was accused of planting a bomb in some village in Pakistan, and they just lined him up in the street with his mum watching and just got an AK point blank and went, pfft.
Oh my god.
And that was, I switched it straight off and just went, oh, that was nut.
So she got an AK that made mouth noises?
Yeah, no, they brutally murdered someone. Yeah, that was me sort of, that was the sound that represents forever sleep, because I'm trying to not get you nailed by YouTube here, and I'm doing a pretty piss poor job. That one was deeply disturbing. So, yeah, never again. Any of those sorts of movies that anything to do that portrays violence in reality, just no thanks.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest with you. I'm not the biggest horror movie fan. Most horror movies I watch, I find stupid. The There's a few that I really enjoyed, but I don't know. I'm just not the one that like bothered me when I was a kid. It wasn't that it was scary. It was just sickening. It was a movie called Lunch Meat. Where they had this restaurant and they killed people and then they fed the people to the customers. They made people burgers and stuff like that.
Oh, Jesus.
That happened in New Orleans. You know about that?
It did.
Jesus fucking
It sure
what?
did. I remember hearing about that story, yeah.
What
Yeah,
was
it was a butcher.
was the joint called Silent Green Butchery or what? What the fuck?
He killed his wife. He ground up his wife in the sausage, and they wouldn't have caught him except for the fact somebody had her wedding ring in their sausage.
Yeah.
What
That's in New Orleans.
the fuck?
Puking.
Wow.
I've seen a lot of horror movies. That's like my thing. I like scary movies. And I think the only one that I probably would not watch again might be Spit on Your Grave.
Spit on Your Grave's good though.
That rate, that's a brutal ass rate.
Oh,
I have to like fast forward through the entire thing to like.
Are you talking about the original or the reboot though?
The reboot.
The reboot has one of the most disturbing rape scenes you'll ever see. I agree.
That you know, like I like her revenge part, but up until that, it's hard to watch any of that.
The rape scene was absolutely.
But there's another one that's worse. That's a French movie that begins with an M that I can never pronounce, but it starts from the very end of the movie and works its way all the way to the beginning of the movie, and in the middle of it is one of the even worse than I Spit on Your Grave rape scene, but it's sodomy, and it's in a tunnel. And that one, I'll never watch that one again.
There's another movie I can't think of that had a really brutal rape scene, but I'm gonna say that's one of the most. I agree with you though. Spit on Your Grave rape scenes are pretty bad. But the revenge that she got on the motherfucker is pretty cool. Like when she put the fucking things in the dude's eyelids and the door and all that shit, that was fucked up.
Oh gosh.
That's the thing, like I get that like those kinds of things are part of those kinds of movies. Like I totally understand that aspect of it. I think it's just the length that they spend on it sometimes is a little much.
By the way, we talked about it yesterday. The most disturbing movie I've ever seen is a Serbian film. Disgusting, but it's disgust for the fact of disgust is what it is. It's not a good movie. But like when they rip the baby out of the woman, then rape the baby. I mean, what? It's fucked up.
What?
Oh God, I
sounds probably.
I don't know.
He raped then he had sodomized his 10-year-old son at the end of the movie. It's fucking crazy, dude.
But if we're gonna do like normal, like everyday movies that like most people have seen, I'll probably say Hannibal Rising, because I don't like the scene where they eat his little sister and she's like calling out for him.
Yeah, that
one fucks with me.
Oh gosh, what about you, Shabisky? Is it a Pixar film?
DreamWorks, baby. It fucks him up every time.
Cars gives him nightmares.
Cars.
Yeah, I'm always having nightmares about cars.
I will when he's done. I will say something. Go ahead, bub.
I don't really have any. I'm not much of a movie person, but lately we've been doing movie nights constantly and been watching more movies. We're trying to watch. People really want to watch horror movies because it's we're here in October. So yeah, there's not really a movie I can think of, but maybe there's something you guys could recommend for us to watch.
A lot of shit we can recommend.
Oh my gosh!
But before one thing, I want to you mentioned like DreamWorks. I mean like Pixar and stuff. A movie always disturbed me when I was a fucking kid. Was supposed to be a kids movie, and I've said this a million times. Wizard of Oz scared the shit out of me.
Well, I mean, that's fair, though. You got flying monkeys and you got melting people. I mean, it's just...
That movie was fucking scary to me, dude. I was like, why are you making me watch this shit?
Yeah.
Actually, one character from a Disney movie that always freaked me out was the Disney movie and the original one, The Black Hole. and there was the robot Vincent, who
Oh,
looked
yeah,
really
yeah.
cool. But then you meet fucking old Bob, and old Bob just looked wrong. And actually, Maximilian, the scariest fucking bad guy robot in any movie ever. It's just this big red brutish looking thing that can basically hover and float, and it's just has whirring fucking knife hands that spin really fast and chop you to pieces. Just like, and it turns out not actually a robot. They're all the crew, which that extra little bit at the end.
Mhm.
It's like, and in the comics, Maximilian survives his journey through the black hole and he lands on a planet. So it's like, oh fuck.
Now, Shabisky,
Hmm?
if you want to watch fun horror, any of the Freddy movies, except one was kind of scary, but after that, they're all fun. Three
Oh, my
is my favorite. Freddy
Dream
3.
Killers,
Yes, Dream Killers.
Dream
is
Killers.
the fucking prime time, bitch.
The
That's
junkie.
fucking awesome, dude.
the
Oh my
junkie.
I love
gosh.
She
Freddy
gets it.
Krueger. Freddy Krueger is probably my favorite.
That's my favorite kill scene of all time in any of the Freddy movies. He puts the bitch's head through the TV and her legs are hanging. It's fucking awesome.
Oh my gosh.
The
I-
chick that was a junkie, when he nails her with the gloves that are just needles full of just
I know,
her
that's-
arms, just like, oh man, yeah, that's gruesome as fuck.
Yeah,
I-
and I recommend you watch the very first Friday
Uh-huh.
the 13th also.
Hellraiser,
Yeah.
definitely
Oh,
watch Hellraiser.
Well,
Have
the
you
reason I, say
guys-
I
Friday
liked
the 13th
Hellraiser
because
2 the best, actually. Hellraiser 2 was pretty damn
Hellraiser 2 was
good.
the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Hellraiser
the reason I say Friday the 13th, Shabby, because when you say Friday the 13th, immediately you think of Jason, right? Well,
Mhm.
the original Friday the 13th, Jason wasn't even in the movie until the
No.
end, was popped up by the goddamn water. But
Right.
it was, yeah.
It's crazy. I have to recommend for you, Shabisky, the Audition, the Japanese film.
Mm-hmm.
Audition
I'm just
Japanese
staring
film.
at the doggo in the back, by the way. I can't.
Audition
cutest.
is the film that I will never watch again. And the reason why I watched it to begin with was because I was watching something. It was 100 most suspenseful moments in film, and Rob Zombie said, "If you've not seen The Audition, that film disturbed me." And I'm like, well, if a film disturbed Rob Zombie, I have to see what it is because,
Oh yeah.
oh my god,
I'm gonna have to
god.
look for this now.
Have you
So-
watched The Devil's Rejects, Shabisky?
Yeah. Yeah, we watched that like 2 or
We
3
watched
months
the new
ago.
one, Three from Hell.
Oh.
I started watching it the other day, and I got distracted. I hadn't went back to it yet. But I did not like A House of a Thousand Corpses. I know everybody else likes it. I don't like it, but now the Devil's Rejects was fucking awesome.
Mhm.
What about Three from Hell?
Yeah, Three from Hell is the I've started watching it, and then I got distracted.
Wait, there's another one.
Three from Hell, that's it.
No, there's a different one that has the same, but it's Rob Zombie, but it's not those guys. I think that's what the one. Lords of Salem. It's
I
got
haven't
Sherry
watched it.
Moon, but she's like a radio DJ.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I haven't watched it though. Now he also directed Halloween 2 or whatever.
Mm.
But which I never was a Halloween fan.
She's so fluffy.
She
Never
is.
cared for the
She's
Michael Myers movies. Never was a big fan of it.
Look
I
at
like
that
Jason and I
blue.
like Freddy, but I didn't like Michael. I think Michael Myers was the pussy out of the three, is my personal opinion.
holding onto my hair.
He's the crazy one.
He's the
Yeah.
pussy. Freddy and Jason would whoop Michael Myers' ass.
I still have to say it used to freak me out really bad was the original Psycho. Alfred
the original
Hitchcock
Psycho, one of
films.
the greatest psychological thrillers in
It's
history.
amazing.
Yes.
And the birds. I never
Birds.
thought.
My favorite Hitchcock
What
movie is
about-
Birds.
Have you guys seen the original movie When a Stranger Calls?
Yes.
And it's the girl babysit there. That's another one in that where you don't actually
Yeah.
see any violence. It's just this psychological mind fuck where, and
Yes.
that right at the end of the movie they go,
Call.
the call's coming from inside the house. Get out. And it's like, what the fuck? I saw that when I was like about 7 years old, the original one, and it's just like I didn't sleep for weeks. Just like,
What,
no.
Shab, have you ever watched Rosemary's Baby?
What's the name?
Rosemary's Baby.
Oh, Rosemary's Baby? No, I've never heard that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's the ending. The ending of the movie is what got everybody back in those days.
Mhm.
And
Why are you
here's
shaking?
another good one to watch. Have you seen Event Horizon?
Oh
Yes.
my God, yes.
That's fucking epic,
It is
dude.
good.
You want to watch that for Halloween, definitely, because it's
Also, Candyman, the original Candyman.
The original Candyman.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Original
absolutely.
Candyman. Oh
and
my
for shits
God.
and giggles, Leprechaun.
Yeah, if you want to make fun of shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See what Mel just did for shits. That's why I said for shits and giggles, watch the
Yeah.
Leprechaun.
If you want to make fun of shit and have fun, it is fun. It's fun. That's what I was talking about. Like, there's horror, then there's like fun horror. There's a movie, and I can't think of the fucking name of it. The movie sucked, but the murder scenes were the best.
Oh, fuck.
And what's the name of the movie? Where at the beginning of the movie, there was like this big fucking house party thing. It wasn't a house party. It was like at a bar. But then they had these like fucking big ass saws coming in. They ain't saw either. It's big ass saws coming in and killing everybody.
Oh,
He's
seen
thinking
that
of
one.
movie, but
That's the fucking Collector too.
yeah, okay. Well, the movie sucked, in my opinion, but the kill scenes were brilliant.
And I'll tell you another good lot is the Evil Dead series. The first one, scary.
Well, the first Evil Dead's awesome.
Yeah, the second one, it kind of got me because it was my first horror comedy that I ever saw, and I fucking loved the whole concept of a horror comedy. It's like there's some dark shit in here, but the scene where his hand gets possessed and it just starts fucking beating the shit out of him is some of the best physical fucking acting I think of that generation. Like it was just he sold that scene. He beat the fucking crap out of himself. Like
It's psychological too. That's Bone Collector.
yeah. Oh,
Denzel
and
Jolie. That's a
and
good one.
Pimp. What's in the box? What's in the box?
Oh, that's seven.
Seven. Oh my
What's
God.
in the
Have you
box?
seen Seven, Cheb? Cheb, have you watched Seven? Brad Pitt.
You'd remember
No.
it if you had.
Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah.
That's what you should watch.
That's
Yeah,
what that reference was.
What's in the box?
It's pretty dark, that moment.
That's
Oh
fucking
God.
dark as hell.
Yeah, that's like
Oh.
that was one of those moments where you just sitting there going, who the fuck wrote this down?
Have a meme. What's in
Yeah.
the box?
Exactly. It's frightening.
Yeah, it's a good movie though. It's a good movie, and I'm gonna tell you, man. People can talk shit about Brad Pitt being a pretty boy, well, but that boy been in some good damn movies. He's been in
Agreed.
some of my movies that I actually put up on top movies, like fucking River Runs Through It, Seven, Inglourious Bastards, Once Upon a Time in
Interview.
Hollywood. That's fucking. I mean, that dude can.
12
can act.
Monkeys, Snatch.
12
Yeah, 12 Monkeys was a really good one. Yep, I'll agree to that.
It's a good
That
movie.
was a great movie.
Good movie.
Interview with a Vampire.
Interview.
Yeah.
Very good movie.
Yeah.
Very good movie. Now, have you ever watched 12 Monkeys, Shabby?
No, Interview with a Vampire we just watched.
Yeah, that's a good
watched
movie.
it for the
But if
first
you ever
time.
watch 12 Monkeys, make sure you pay attention.
Yeah, because it's a mind fuck. You got to
It is
keep
a
up
mind-
because
It
It's one of
there's
those
this.
movies where you have to really.
Yeah, we'll just
I
give you
had to go
two
back and
words.
watch it. I watched
Temporal
it 2 times in a row
mechanics.
because I wanted to like see where I missed it because I knew I missed something there. I was like, "What the fuck?" And then I caught it and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, it's temporal mechanics are in play. Time travel. It's fucking cool though. It's really well written. It surprisingly stands the test of time. Some of those movies really do stand up well, and that
Yeah,
is
my
one of
mom
them.
just mentioned one that she liked a lot. Now, some of you may not. Gothica with Halle Berry.
Yeah,
It's a good movie.
I'll agree to that.
I like
Absolutely.
that one a lot.
Yeah, it's a good movie. My mom really enjoyed it, but it had Halle Berry in it, so I could just look at her. She's been in a couple of good movies. She was in some good movies. That movie with the Monsters Ball was a good movie.
Mhm.
I just want to feel. But so we got 3 minutes. We hadn't exactly made. We were $60 shy of the stream goal. So Shabisky, make them do it.
Do it.
Dance, Shabisky.
Just fucking do it.
Dance for the people.
There. Did it.
Do it.
Trust me, they love me. They'll do it.
I don't think they do.
They love me.
There's a couple of them that love you.
Shh. The ones
I
that
think
won't
he's-
admit it, they love me. the
He's
most.
the greatest.
Yeah.
I don't think Speck loves you.
Shabiscuits
No.
and gravy.
Loves me.
Speck's
Everybody
been
loves
actually
Shabisky.
hanging out a lot with Shab lately.
Yeah, but I
so-
don't think Speck loves him though.
Maybe not
Speck-
love, but likes
Speck
a
loves
lot.
me.
Speck is in love with me. Okay.
Speck wants to murder you.
So
Maybe a
what?
little bit.
Why?
Have you ever talked to Shabisky?
No, never.
I want to murder him.
No,
And
never.
but no, he's a good little dude.
Really? Oh, never. I
What's your
wouldn't
shirt
know.
say? The Earth what? The Earth what?
It's for some weed company here out in Vegas, and it says the Earth is our mother. We must take care of her. So yeah. Best shirt ever.
He read it upside down.
I did.
Took him a
The
while.
Earth is our mother. Why didn't you just
I don't know.
read the screen?
Good job.
It was
Shab.
easy.
Because it's a little tiny thing there.
Oh,
I
he's
don't
just
have
trying to
my-
help.
You think I have myself like full screen right now? Like,
You don't? I have you full screen.
well, yeah, you having me full screen makes sense, or having me at least.
Why does that
somewhere.
make sense? I have you full screen when I got 4 other people to talk to.
I mean, you should put them in little boxes in the corner, maybe. But like, yeah,
Oh, you
it
saying you're
makes
more
sense.
important than the other people?
I'm just saying.
More important than Nina.
I didn't say that. Well, definitely not more important than Nina. Oh my god.
What the fuck is
How
Nick?
can you be more important? The Fluffy.
Yeah, Nina. She's my
Hey,
little
quit
floofy
calling her.
friend.
Yeah.
You don't know. Mel may shave. Quit saying that.
I like the
Oh,
floof.
my.
Oh,
It's a
my.
floof.
She's a floofy little thing. She's cute.
Oh, so you don't shave? Okay.
Yeah,
bet
Nina.
it's you.
I call her the Neen.
It's the
Oh, you're
floof.
talking about the dog. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
My
Got a-
doggy.
Got a boop to snoop.
You
of the
do.
floof.
She's my supervisor. I call her my supervisor.
You got a whole bunch of shit going on in the background.
I do. I have a
That's
lot of
much
stuff.
shit.
A lot of stuff. I'm a geek hoarder.
I want that Pac-Man game.
My brother
Aw.
gave that to me, actually. I think he bought it in his wife last Christmas. I think she just said, we can't have all this. And so he just started giving away all the crap that he had in his house. So it's like, this came without the box. I'm sorry. I like bought it somewhere and here's all the stuff. If you there, you can mount it on the wall if you want to. I'm like, he just gave us crap that his wife don't want him to have anymore. I'm like, that's okay. I'm fine with it. So I just put it back there, let it run.
Well, we've reached that time of the day, folks. We got to say El Nino. I don't know how to say that. Anyways, we want to say goodbye, but we want to thank Mel and Red Eye for joining us. It's a good show.
Thanks for having me.
No
Yeah,
worries.
man, we love having y'all. Missy was really excited. She even sprayed perfume.
I could smell it. It's nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And Shabisky
Burberry.
actually took a shower.
Yeah, I was
Mm.
proud of him for that.
I even used soap this time. It was pretty
What?
crazy. Yep.
Wow. Oh, someone give him a gold star.
I didn't do shit. I'm stanky. I smell like 3DL burritos and ass.
Ew.
I feel like there's a song, Do the Stanky Pimp, Do the
Do the
Stanky
stanky
Pimp.
Anyway, so we do thank y'all. And we thank everybody in the chat room for liking, sharing, tipping, and all that other good shit. We appreciate you guys very much. Tomorrow's a host-only show. Thursday, we got Fire Ronin and somebody. And we'll see you then. So, Bulls, kill that hit button.